How are you guys? Welcome to Comic Kong, and today we'll be looking at Batgirl. Most people criticize when they make a female version of any superhero, as it's often seen as a poor attempt to be empowering to women. But that is not the reason why Batgirl was created. Batgirl was created to make Batman and Robin less gay. That is the actual reason why. There's no punchline, that's actually true. And that is the first fact about Batgirl. Let's dive in. Barbara Gordon debuted as Batgirl in Detective Comics number 359 in 1967. The story was called Batman, the $1 Million Debut of Batgirl. The first villain she fought was Killer Moth, and his minions Larva and Pupa. Although Barbara Gordon is considered to be the official Batgirl, she isn't the first. That honor belongs to Betty Kane. However, she appears very infrequently in the comics. In the 1980s, Betty Kane took on the name Flamebird. When DC rebooted it in recent years, she took on the mantle of Hawkfire. Barbara was brought up by Commissioner James Gordon. She was created by Bill Finger and Sheldon Moldoff. Moldoff created Hawkman and Hawkgirl, and Bill Finger created Batman. Before Barbara Gordon became Batgirl, she was a librarian. Her main weapon of choice is Eskrima fighting sticks. She quit being a superheroine for a while to become a member of the United States House of Representatives. Her suit is composed of an armor that insulates her against ballistics, fire, and electric attacks. She has a photographic memory. Barbara Gordon's most infamous moment was when she was shot through the spine by the Joker. This left her paralyzed from the waist down. Although Barbara could no longer be a superhero after she was left paralyzed, that didn't stop her from becoming an ally to Batman. She formed a new identity called Oracle and helped Batman by hacking files, forging documents, deactivating security programs, and so forth. This is often seen in the Batman Arkham video games. In order for her to do this, she needs to read dozens of newspapers and magazines every single day. She regularly gathers info from the mainframe of the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, and Interpol, without their knowledge or consent, of course. In Arkham Knight, if you use your X-ray vision and look at her spine, you can see that her vertebrae is damaged. Batman the Killing Joke was adapted into an animated movie. Because the story was so short, they added in more backstory to Batgirl, including a scene where she has sex with Batman. DC fans detested the scene, as Batman has never seen Batgirl in a romantic way at any point in the comics. If anything, he always perceived her like a daughter. She is trained in martial arts, stealth, escapology, computer hacking, tactical analysis, and acrobatics. When she was a child, Barbara Gordon studied ballet. She is played by Alicia Silverstone in the film Batman and Robin. Let's not talk about that movie. Although Batgirl was popular for decades, she didn't get her own title series for 39 years. Now, when she became Oracle, obviously there has to be somebody to fill in for Batgirl, which brings us to the second official Batgirl, Helena Bertinelli, who was previously known as Huntress. However, she was considered reckless, and she relinquished the title of Batgirl. This gets a little bit confusing, because she wasn't the first person to be called Huntress. There's another character called Paula Brooks. When Helena Bertinelli became popular, Brooks changed her name to Tigress. Also, in a parallel universe, Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle had a daughter called Helena Wayne, who became Huntress. It's so unnecessarily confusing. Why does anyone even read comics? Helena Bertinelli debuted in Huntress number 1 in 1989. She did not become Batgirl until Batman Shadow of the Bat number 83 in 1999. There's a Batgirl fangirl called Misfit, who regularly follows Batgirl around, and she desperately wants to be the next one. The third official Batgirl was Cassandra Cain. She was adopted by Batman after she saved Commissioner Gordon's life. Cassandra Cain is my favorite Batgirl, so let's have a look at her. Cassandra debuted in Batman 567 in 1999. She debuted in her own self-titled series in Batgirl number 1 in the year 2000. She was the first Batgirl to have her own titled series. Although Cassandra Cain clearly is small, thin, young, she doesn't look particularly intimidating. However, when she first came into Gotham, she was a better fighter than Batman. This is because she was raised all her life to read body language the same way humans read regular language. She knows what her opponent is going to do before they do. Her father, David Cain, raised her this way to be a more efficient assassin. She wasn't the first attempted assassin of David Cain. His first attempt at creating a perfect assassin was Alpha the Mad Dog. Because Cassandra can effortlessly read body language, she can't lose at rock, paper, scissors. That's not a joke, that actually happens in the comics. Cassandra can pick up the fighting style of anyone she fights. If she fought a jiu-jitsu fighter but never heard of the combat style, she would be able to fight just like them within seconds purely by studying her opponent. Because she can read body language, it's impossible for Cassandra Cain to be fooled by disguise. If she saw Clark Kent, she would instantly be able to tell that he's Superman. Until she met Batman, Cassandra was mute and illiterate. She didn't even know what letters are called. She calls the letter P one of those straight lines going up with a round thing. When Barbara Gordon learned this, she snapped and called Cassandra Cain stupid, which hurt her feelings. Batman and Barbara Gordon helped Cassandra learn how to read, write, and talk. As she became literate and articulate, she lost the ability to read an opponent's moves. She eventually regained her ability to read bodies thanks to a confrontation with her mother, Shiva. Shiva is the world's greatest fighter. Shiva is such a good fighter, Batman has never defeated her on a one-on-one fight. Also, let me know if you want me to do a video about Shiva. When Cassandra Cain made her first kill as a child, she was consumed by guilt. She has dedicated most of her life to atone for this deed. She had a fling with Con-El, better known as Superboy. Cassandra is so strong, she can tear open a punching bag with a single punch. According to Batman, Cassandra, quote, might be the most dangerous fighter I've ever seen in action. If guided by another hand, she could be the most deadly enemy any of us have ever faced, or she could be the best of all of us. Cassandra turned evil and became the leader of the League of Assassins, which is usually run by Ra's al Ghul. Readers were furious that Cassandra betrayed Batman because her behavior completely contradicted her character. Fans were so enraged, the writers retconned this by saying Cassandra only turned evil because she was mind-controlled by Deathstroke. When Cassandra eventually relinquished the title of Batgirl, she took on the name Orphan. The fourth Batgirl is Stephanie Brown. By the way, if you think there's too many Batgirls, don't even get me started on Robin. There's like 12 teen? Stephanie used to be a superhero called Spoiler. When Cassandra stepped down from being Batgirl, Stephanie took on the mantle. Stephanie Brown is the daughter of the supervillain Clue Master. He's like the Riddler, except he sucks. Stephanie became a Spoiler so she could learn more about the criminal underworld that her father was a part of. When Stephanie Brown became the new Batgirl, Barbara Gordon became her trainer. Stephanie Brown wears a wireless relay on her cowl so she's in constant contact with Barbara Gordon. Stephanie figured out that Bruce Wayne was Batman. Stephanie Brown briefly served as Robin. Batman fired her after one mission because she used excessive violence. When DC Comics was rebooted in 2012, Batgirl's backstory was changed. Although she still got shot by the Joker in the new origin story, Barbara recovered and went back to being a crime fighter. And the final fact is, Batgirl comics proved so popular that she nearly got her own television show in the 1960s. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe. If there's any other DC characters you want me to do a video about, let me know and I'll upload it as soon as possible.